Hello, I'm Armando Vela from the P&A Consulting Group. The goal of the analysis was to provide helpful insights from the beer and brewery datasets that your company had provided. We really took a keen focus on the alcohol content, ABV, and International Bitterness Unit, IBU, for each beer type within each state. To quickly summarize our findings, if your company was planning to do a rollout with a more bitter beer, then Maine would probably be your best bet, since their state is already accustomed to a high median IBU value. If you're planning to offer a lighter beer, then the state of Utah would be best, since their ABV value is the lowest in the state. For the first step in our analysis, we want to identify the count of breweries per state. Colorado, as you can see, actually has the highest count of breweries of 47. West Virginia, North Dakota, and South Dakota, as well as the District of Columbia, are tied for the lowest amount of breweries with 1 per state. Next, we merge the beer and brewery information just to get a deeper insight and to have additional analysis for our review. As you can see within the printout, we printed out the first 6 and last 6 observations just so that you can get an understanding of the columns that we are working with. After that, we want to identify the count of NAs that were shown for each column. Some notable points are that the IBU column actually had 1,005 instances of NAs, which is 41.7% of all observations, while the ABV column had 62 instances of NAs, which is 2.6% of all observations. So, in order to address the NA instances, we conducted an imputation to fill out those missing values. First, we identified the median ABV or IBU per state. These amounts were then used to fill in the NA instance associated to each state. Also, since the state of North-South Dakota had all NA values for the IBU column, we actually used the total median IBU that was found and calculated to fill in those NA values. Once that was done, we computed the median alcohol content, or ABV, per state. As you can see within the chart to the right, the high median ABV states are Kentucky, District of Columbia, which is not really a state, New Mexico, and Michigan. The low median ABV state is Utah. After that, we computed the International Bitterness Unit for each state. Some notable points once again is Maine actually had the high median IBU state, and the low median IBU state was Wisconsin at 19. With that said, here on this chart is actually the summary statistics for the ABV variable. The minimum ABV was actually 0.001, while the maximum ABV out of all the beers that we had reviewed was 0.128. If you were to look at the distribution, it does show signs of it being right skewed, and that was confirmed, with the median ABV being lower than the mean ABV. So what is the relationship between IBU versus ABV? Well, our team conducted a Pearson correlation test, and that showed that there is a strong evidence to suggest that there is a statistically significant linear relationship between the total alcohol by volume versus bitterness. Also, the direction of the relationship is positive, as you can see within the blue line within that chart, and the magnitude or the strength of that relationship or association is moderate. In conclusion, and to reiterate my findings, if you are going to offer a more bitter beer then a state like Maine should be used due to their high median IBU value. For a lighter ABV beer, then the state of Utah should be used since they are accustomed to low median ABVs. This concludes our 7-question analysis on the datasets provided. Any questions?